Coronation Street bombshell. Tracy's surprise turns sour as Steve moves on with Cassie, but is this war just beginning? In a turn of events that promises to stir the cobbles of Coronation Street like never before, Tracy McDonald's unexpected attempt to reconnect with her estranged husband Steve takes a bitter twist next week. What was supposed to be a warm, nostalgic surprise ends in emotional devastation, not to mention a jaw-dropping public declaration that could set off an explosive feud between two of Weatherfield's most fiery women. As Corey fans brace themselves for yet another relationship implosion, the real question looms. Is this just the start of Tracy's revenge? And could this long-standing couple, despite everything, still be holding on to unresolved feelings? Steve and Tracy. A love story built on chaos. Before diving into the present-day drama, let's take a moment to acknowledge the stormy past shared by Steve McDonald and Tracy Barlow. Their relationship has never been conventional, in fact, it's practically defined by dysfunction. Steve, the bumbling but well-meaning everyman of the street, has had no shortage of romantic entanglements over the years. But with Tracy, it always felt different. The two brought out both the best and worst in each other. Their marriage may have crumbled, but their shared history, emotional baggage, and daughter Amy kept their stories tightly intertwined. While both have gone on to date others, their emotional umbilical cord has remained firmly in place until now. Birthday bash blunder. Tracy's unexpected olive branch. According to upcoming spoilers, Tracy has been dragging her feet on finalizing the divorce, a detail that hasn't escaped Steve's notice. The delays, some say, stem from her breakup with Tommy Orpington, the footballer-turned-lover who left her reeling after their recent split. She's stubborn, a Corey insider reveals. But deep down, Tracy doesn't let go easily. When she's hurt, her instincts are to lash out or retreat, and this time she's been doing a little of both. In a surprising turn, Tracy plans a secret birthday celebration for Steve at the local pub. But this isn't just a kind gesture, it's a power play. By controlling the setting and tone, Tracy hopes to remind Steve of what they once had. It's part nostalgia, part ego, and part unspoken regret. But Steve has moved on, and fast. Unfortunately for Tracy, she's about to be blindsided. Steve, unbeknownst to her, has been growing closer to Cassie Plummer, and next week, he makes it official. Cassie may not be everyone's cup of tea, but for Steve, she offers something fresh, unfiltered, and spontaneous. Where Tracy is rigid and reactive, Cassie brings a kind of chaotic comfort Steve seems to crave. Some might call it a rebound. Others, something deeper. Cassie is the worst possible person Steve could be with, says our source. But maybe that's the point. Steve's fed up with drama, yet he keeps gravitating to women who bring exactly that. Their connection, once whispered about on the fringes of the Rovers, becomes very public when Steve plants a kiss on Cassie right in the pub. That bold move marks the start of a new chapter, and simultaneously lights a fuse Tracy may soon detonate. Sees them. A collision of past and present. Tracy walks in with Amy just in time to witness Steve and Cassie's intimate moment. It's the kind of soap scene we live for, rich with irony, heartbreak, and the promise of fallout. Tracy has a tendency to want what she can't have, the insider continues. Seeing Steve moving on, and so publicly, flips a switch in her. Suddenly the man she was half ignoring becomes the one she doesn't want anyone else to have. This sets the stage for one of Corey's most emotionally loaded triangles in recent memory. For Tracy, this isn't just about love, it's about pride. About power. About proving she's the one in control. Cassie. From chaos to center stage. Cassie Plummer's rise as a key player in Weatherfield drama has been swift and unexpected. Originally introduced with ties to Tyrone and Evelyn, she's now making waves in her own right, and stepping into the spotlight as a romantic lead. Cassie's no saint. She's battled addiction, estranged relationships, and her own self-destructive instincts. But she's also raw, real, and unashamed of who she is. Which is precisely what seems to draw Steve toward her. She doesn't play games, says the source. At least not the kind Tracy does. Steve spent years entangled with high-drama partners. Cassie, for all her flaws, is different. She doesn't pretend to be anything she's not. But is that enough to make a relationship work, especially with Tracy lurking in the background? The fallout, divorce papers, emotional games, and Amy in the middle. After the birthday party disaster, Steve makes it clear he's done waiting. He wants the divorce finalized, and now, Tracy, still reeling from the public humiliation, seems determined to wrest back control. At first, she avoids the conversation by luring Steve to the pub under the pretense of discussing the papers. But when he arrives, he finds not a legal meeting but a surprise birthday party, complete with drinks and guests. It's a distraction tactic, and it backfires horribly. Steve sees right through the plan and storms out. Tracy, humiliated but defiant, follows, dragging Amy along for support. But their attempt to confront Steve ends in a bigger shock, walking in on Steve and Cassie mid-canoodle. Amy, already caught between her parents' decades of dysfunction, once again finds herself playing referee. And this time, the stakes may be higher than ever. Tracy's next move: revenge, redemption, or rekindling. Tracy Barlow has never been one to go quietly. Whether it's scheming to ruin her rivals or manipulating circumstances to serve her needs, she's a master at twisting the narrative in her favor. So how will she react now that Steve has officially moved on, and not with someone she considers an equal? She's furious, our insider confirms. But more than that, she's blindsided. This isn't just about Steve anymore. It's about Cassie. It's about the public perception. And it's about Tracy needing to reassert herself. Could she use the divorce to complicate Steve and Cassie's blossoming relationship? Could she find a way to make Cassie's life miserable in Weatherfield? Or, and perhaps most interestingly, could she realize she still loves Steve after all? She's going to try and sabotage them, the insider says. But whether that's because she wants Steve back or just doesn't want Cassie to win, that's what will unravel over the next few weeks. The ripple effects of this triangle won't be limited to just 3 people. Amy, already navigating her own life crises, may find herself emotionally trapped between loyalty to her mother and the pursuit of her father's happiness. Meanwhile, other characters on the street are bound to weigh in. Tyrone, Evelyn, and even Tim could get pulled into the conflict as alliances form and sides are taken. There's a lot of collateral damage, says the source. This isn't just a breakup. It's the start of something bigger. Fan reactions and theories. Is this the end of Tracy Love and Steve? The online fanbase is already ablaze with speculation. Is Tracy jealous, or heartbroken? Could Steve and Cassie actually last as a couple? Will Tracy find a new man, or pull out all the stops to sabotage this romance? Is a fiery showdown between Cassie and Tracy on the horizon? Some fans have suggested the show is setting up a longer arc that could see Steve and Tracy rekindling their relationship by year's end, while others are calling for Cassie to finally get her shot at stability. One Reddit user wrote, "I don't trust Tracy's tears. She's going to burn Cassie's world down, just wait." Another posted, "Steve's a grown man, but he still acts like a confused teenager. Cassie will chew him up and spit him out. Tracy knows him better than anyone, that might matter in the end." Final thoughts. Is the McDonald marriage truly over? As Coronation Street gears up for another summer of high-stakes drama, this triangle may very well become its emotional centerpiece. With Steve planting kisses, Tracy scheming in the background, and Cassie standing her ground, it's a perfect storm of old wounds and new risks. Steve may think he's found peace, but in Weatherfield, peace never lasts long. And Tracy? She's just getting started. Whatever happens, fans can expect heartbreak, hilarity, and no shortage of confrontations in the coming weeks. Because in Coronation Street, love may fade, but the drama? It never does.